everyone, welcome to How Ines Rolls. Today I'm going to be super busy. So it's pretty early, it's about 8 o'clock till I'm ready. But I thought I would get started on a dessert that I'm taking over to the Phillips tonight, and it's called Easy Strawberry Frozen Dessert. Doesn't that sound so good? So let's get started. Yeah, so we are running around a lot today. So we're going to a friend's child's baptism, which will be super fun. And then they're having a get together. And then after the party, we're gonna come home and get ready to go over to the Phillips house where we're having a get together for the fight night, which we do often. So I just thought with the summer and it being nice and warm, yes, I thought this would be an appropriate recipe to make. So it is going to need to be in the freezer and it's going to need time to set. So if you can think ahead, it said you could even make it up to 2 weeks ahead of time. If you have the willpower to not get into that, more power to you. But at least the night before would be awesome, but I have the day of. So I will link the recipe below. It's from the Sweet Spicy Kitchen, and it looks like it's going to be delicious. It's very easy in its ingredients. There is, however, lots of multiple steps, so I will walk you through that. So I went ahead and I purchased 2 of these little baskets because I wasn't quite sure the measurements, so I'm just gonna clean them, rinse them off, and do it as according to, and then the recipe, and then I'll let you know if I have any leftovers and if it was a smart thing to buy too. So let me just get that going. Plus I have some leftover plates from 4th of July. So hopefully a little bit easier cleanup since I'm gonna be using a few extra bowls. So let's do this. So it was a good thing that I bought the 2 cartons. So I have put the diced strawberries on the plate to the side, and I even added a few more strawberries because I did have about a cup left over, so I figured I'll just cut a little bit more. So 2.5 cups of whole strawberries are going to be blended up into a puree and then put aside because we're going to be adding that to the mixture. I do have a blender, but I really like my NutriBullet, and so I'm just going to blend and be done. Now I don't use my NutriBullet tons, it's kind of more for my smoothies, so I thought that would be perfect for blending these strawberries. So nice and liquefied, so I'm just gonna put that over to the side and start on my crushing of graham crackers. Now I don't have a food processor, but I feel up to this point in my life, I kind of don't even need one. So let me get this all crushed up. If you have a food processor and you use it on a regular basis, this would be a very easy way to get those crushed up. Plus, I'm going to put some butter into the microwave and just slowly melt it. I don't want to put it for 30 seconds and have a big splatter in there, so let me do that slow. In case you're wondering, that was about 22 pieces of graham cracker, plus, so it's almost a box. So it took 2 sleeves plus 4 more of the 3rd one. So that's almost a whole box. But this is going to be a bottom and a top crust. So you're gonna need a lot. Plus it's fun to do all this smashing. So let's get this crust going. It should be very easy. So I understand that there's gonna be a lot of little steps. So if this is overwhelming, do a little bit each day or so. Like you can crumble up these, put them aside. You're like, I got that recipe, so I need to think about that. And then just kind of getting everything together. So I personally don't think anything on this recipe seems too intense, but you know, I understand that there's the multi-step process here. So we're gonna do some sugar, and I'm just gonna add it into my butter and then put it in the, and I keep dumping more and more sugar right here on the side. So that was 4, 5, 6. Okay. I just think it would be so much easier to coat if the sugar was already melted a little bit into the butter. Yes. Okay, so now we're just going to mix it in and I'll bring it closer. Just going to give that a good mix. And then I'm only going to use half of it into the bottom of the 9x13. That it's also going to be lightly sprayed with a non-cooking spray, or a cooking, what is this called? Cooking spray. And so we're going to get that going. And I'll show you what it looks like. So easy. Ever made your own whipped cream before? It's quite an easy process, and I always forget about doing it usually because I'm trying to do the fastest thing. So, but if you're trying to just make things from scratch, or if you just want to try something new, making your own whipped cream from heavy whipping cream is so easy. So you're just going to put, for this recipe, I'm just going to put a cup in, but you add like a little bit of sugar and a tiny little bit of vanilla depending on your preference. Well, after you've like kind of gotten it going, and then you have your own whipped cream. But just for this, I'm just whipping up the heavy cream into peaks, and I'll still bring you closer so you can see it, because it's about a minute on a low speed and 4 minutes on a high speed. So look at that yumminess. I mean, really, it's so easy. It takes like a few minutes. About halfway through, if you're trying to just make this into a whipped cream, you could put like on ice cream or on a pie or a cake. You could just add like maybe it's like a half a teaspoon of vanilla and like a teaspoon or a tablespoon, depending on the sugar content you want. You could add that about halfway through, and then it will be nicely mixed in. So, but for now, this is just going to be put to a side until we do the next part, which is coming up now. So you can see behind me, I'm starting to get a little bit of everything. All the processes are coming together right about now. So softened cream cheese, I'm going to blend with some powdered sugar, and you'll see that recipe is going to be linked below. But if your cream cheese still has a bit of a cool touch to it, I just always put mine a little bit into the oven as it starts to heat up, not like trying to bake it or anything. So maybe like a couple of minutes, maybe put it at 350 or 300, and then before it even reaches that temperature, you're pulling it out anyways, and then it's nice and room temperature. So I'm gonna put that in there, and I'll bring you closer. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla and a can of sweetened condensed milk, and do the same thing, just kind of beat it up. So let's do that, and then it'll be where we're starting to put everything together now. All right, here goes our whipped cream, and then I'm just going to blend that in, and then I'm going to fold into the puree, which seems kind of interesting that it says to fold into the puree, fold in and not fold in the whipped cream, but you know what, maybe I'll do it. Because usually you fold in whipped cream because you don't want it to break down, and because it can be over whipped and then get back into like a liquid form. So I'm just gonna fold it in, and I'm also going to add this puree, and this is going to be more liquidy anyways. So my kitchen is smelling like all kinds of strawberry goodness, so this is cool. This is going to be so good. So we're just going to get that all mixed in, and then guess what? We just add the strawberries, and then we'll put it back into our 9x13 pan. Here go the strawberries. And I'm just going to blend that all in by just kind of giving it some good stirs. And oh man, this is gonna be delicious. I already know, because sweetened condensed milk like kicks it up a notch in the sweet. And everything did have a little bit of sugar to it. Not, I wouldn't say overtly, but that sweetened condensed milk will take care of all of that. And so this is gonna get frozen into our pan. And then I'll show you what it looks like as it's freezing down. But I can already tell. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pour it really easily into this pan with the crust. So I just wanna kind of pour it a little bit on the more even side rather than spreading it too much around. But I will probably have to do that anyways, but that way it's just not a big pile in the middle. I already had a little bit of a taste. It's so good, you guys. It's really like light and just, I could taste more that it is like homemade rather than a higher like sugar content for like some of the packaged, desserts that you just do, which time and a place, right? They come in handy. Or even if I would have used like a Cool Whip instead of making the whipped cream portion, I think that there's always a time and a place for all of that. But because I made it, I went a little bit extra. You can taste it. And so I'm just going to now take the rest of this yummy graham cracker crust and just sprinkle it all on top. And then that's it, you guys. We're going to put this in the freezer, and I can't wait I'll show you in a little while, because I'm going to pre-cut the squares just to make it easier to serve. And I'll take you along with me over to the Phillips. So into the freezer it goes. You can see that nice little thick creamy layer in the middle there. It's gonna be so good. Maybe I should make some more whipped cream from top. Thinking about it, but now lots to clean up. This recipe made a lot of bowls to clean, but worth it. Hey everyone, so it's been about, 9-10 hours that this has been in the back freezer. So I need to pre-score it or pre-cut it, so that way when we go to the Phillips house, it'll just be super easy. Plus, I need to try it. So I'm gonna bring you closer and show you how I'm gonna be cutting this. About 24 little slices. I don't care if people take more than one, but oh my gosh, so cute. Looks so yummy, I can't wait. Oh yeah. It kind of reminds me, do you remember when we were little kids, and I know they still have them at Vaughn's or like the nearby store, is the strawberry shortcake like eclair that has like the crust all over it, and they kind of, it's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yes, 1,000 times yes will be a crowd pleaser for sure. And if they don't like it, then I'll eat it when I bring it home. I'm just kidding, they'll like it. So this is gonna be so good. I'm such a fan of 9x13 desserts. If they're creamy pies or like a creamy dessert, and this easy frozen strawberry dessert is like now on my favorite list. So the link is in the description box below. So I hope you'll take some time to do it, and let's see what everybody else thinks too. So stick around. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Better finish my slice. All right, Tina's gonna try it.
Ooh. I don't know. That is seriously so good.
Is it? I felt like
so
it's
good.
One of my favorites now.
Oh my gosh.
Cause look at all of that. Look at all the pieces we could have.
Dude.
That makes a lot.
You know I'm having like fists of this tonight. That's good, Ines.
That's big.